Let's jump right into this explainer. Today, we're tracking a predator so profoundly mysterious, it completely defies everything experts currently know about the prehistoric deep. When we look back at Earth's history, it's super easy to just focus on the famous giants that walk the land, your T-Rexes, your Triceratops. But if we plunge beneath the waves during the late Jurassic period, which is roughly 150 million years ago, there's a vastly different story waiting to be told. We're looking at a massive marine reptile known as a pliosaur. And this is a creature that fundamentally challenges our entire understanding of ancient oceanic ecosystems. It is just a mind-boggling reality that the deepest parts of our very own oceans are actually still more mysterious to us than the surface of the moon. Just think about that for a second. We've mapped out celestial bodies millions of miles away in totally intricate detail. We can trace lunar craters and Martian valleys, yet the crushing depths of our own planet, they still harbor secrets in strange fossils from creatures that are unlike absolutely anything alive today. And right smack in the center of this unexplored frontier is one specific giant plesiosaur that experts still cannot fully explain. Could this forgotten predator have been more terrifying than anything we've ever imagined? Well, let's find out. To really wrap our heads around this prehistoric cold case, we have to travel back, way back, long before humans existed. Back about 150 million years to the late Jurassic. This was long before our familiar continents took their current shapes, back when land masses were still literally violently tearing apart to form the Atlantic Ocean. The deep sea back then was an entirely different realm. Sure, the waters covering much of Europe were warm, shallow, and totally teeming with life near the surface. But plunge deeper, and you enter a world characterized by an almost unimaginable, impenetrable darkness. Imagine an environment so deep and terrifying that absolutely zero sunlight penetrates the water. Without the energy of the sun, a marine ecosystem is completely cut off, and the biological rules of survival, they change in an instant. It becomes a hostile, unforgiving frontier where only the most extreme, highly specialized adaptations can keep a creature alive. I mean, photosynthesis simply doesn't exist down here. So the food chain relies entirely on either the slow rain of biological matter from above or on actively hunting whatever else is lurking in the black waters right alongside you. And in this pitch-black abyss, there was simply no escape. For anything caught out in the open water, there were no hiding places. No intricate coral reefs to dart behind, no shallow coastal shelves to seek refuge in. It was just a vast, three-dimensional hunting ground without any borders. In this pelagic zone, your survival meant being lightning fast, perfectly camouflaged against the dark water column, or just ruthlessly dangerous. So it was a brutal ecosystem where only giant predators, creatures built specifically to survive extreme pressures and freezing temperatures, could truly thrive. We aren't just talking about large fish here. We're talking about colossal apex marine reptiles, like our mysterious pliosaur, essentially engineered for the abyss. They evolved physical traits that completely stagger modern biologists. We're looking at dense bone structures specifically designed to withstand bone-crushing deep-water pressure. And get this, massive specialized eyes, literally up to the size of dinner plates, adapted perfectly to absorb any microscopic sliver of bioluminescence in all that darkness. Which brings us to the actual fossils. When researchers began excavating ancient seabeds, places like the incredibly rich Jurassic deposits found in the Kimmeridge Clay Formation over in England, they found strange fossils that threw a massive wrench into the established timeline of marine evolution. One specific recent discovery of a massive, unidentified skull fragment totally changed the game. It left scientists with way more questions than answers. It baffled paleontologists who genuinely thought they definitively understood the hierarchy and the maximum size constraints of ancient marine life. Now, while the fossil record is notoriously frustrating and incomplete, the fragments we do have paint a terrifying picture of a forgotten monster. These fossils reveal a massive sea predator fundamentally unlike modern great white sharks or killer whales. We know this specific pliosaur featured a heavily built, streamlined, teardrop-shaped body that was optimized for active hunting. It was powered by 4 massive flippers for rapid acceleration, and those jaws up to 8 feet long, designed to take down significant prey with a bite force that would absolutely dwarf a modern crocodile. But again, we're dealing with an incomplete fossil record here, meaning we only possess fragmented puzzle pieces of a much larger, terrifying picture. Because that fossil record is so incomplete, many essential parts of this creature's life remain a profound mystery. It forces experts to ask the most fundamental question: what did it really look like in the flesh? Without a complete articulated skeleton, without intact vertebrae, or a fully preserved postcranial structure, scientists are fiercely debating its true proportions. Was it a sleek, high-speed pursuit predator chasing down fast-moving squids, or was it maybe a bulkier, heavily muscled ambush hunter that struck unsuspecting prey from the depths below? The biological dots are still waiting to be connected. And this leads us to the stark reality of paleontological research. Literally every time researchers dig up a new fossil, existing beliefs have to be rapidly rewritten. A single discovery doesn't just neatly solve a puzzle, it uncovers deeper mysteries. When paleontologists unearth a tooth the size of a banana or a massive, shattered jawbone, it forces a total re-evaluation of the entire Jurassic food web. These recent, unprecedented discoveries strongly suggest that ancient oceans were actually filled with a much wider, far more diverse variety of terrifying apex predators than we've identified so far. It creates this really eerie paradox. The deeper researchers dig into the prehistoric abyss, the more mysterious life becomes. You'd logically think that more digging and more fossil extraction would equal definitive answers, right? But in the realm of ancient oceans, it just wildly expands the scope of what we realize we simply do not know. It reveals marine ecosystems that are infinitely more complex, competitive, and just profoundly different from absolutely anything we can observe in our oceans today. And experts confidently believe there are still countless prehistoric fossils waiting to be discovered. The vast, unexplored ground beneath our oceans, from the sediment layers beneath the Mariana Trench all the way to uplifted ancient seabeds buried under modern mountain ranges, remains a massive, unsolved puzzle. Just think about the sheer volume of the planet's surface that hasn't been systematically excavated yet. Every untouched geological layer of ancient marine sediment is a sealed vault of Earth's history. It's quietly holding secrets of evolution just waiting to be unlocked. Which brings us to a genuinely thrilling realization. Each new discovery holds the potential to rewrite absolutely everything we know about Earth's ancient oceans. And because we've only scratched the very surface of global fossil deposits, it stands to reason that the absolute greatest sea monster may not even have been found yet. The pliosaur titan we've been tracking today, it might just be a moderately sized player in an ocean once ruled by even larger, far more terrifying leviathans, resting quietly in the rock, just awaiting a paleontologist's brush. But hey, the deep ocean definitely wasn't the only aquatic environment hiding colossal giants. While pliosaurs ruled the saltwater oceans, another massive predator was taking control of the prehistoric rivers and swamps. And this wasn't a creature that settled for hunting fish. No, it actively hunted dinosaurs. Enter Deinosuchus, an extinct genus of crocodilian that grew up to 35 feet long. With an estimated bite force of up to 23,000 pounds per square inch, it routinely ambushed and crushed the bones of massive dinosaurs with a single bite. It represents a totally different evolutionary path, completely dominating the freshwaters while the marine reptiles ruled the abyss. So, in our next explainer, we're going to shift our focus away from the dark oceans over to those ancient rivers and uncover the truth about Deinosuchus, the giant dinosaur-hunting crocodile. So make sure to subscribe to the explainer to join us as we continue to investigate the greatest mysteries hidden in Earth's ancient past. Why does understanding these lost monsters actually matter? Because mapping out what this planet was capable of producing millions of years ago gives us incredible insight into the resilience, the biological limits, and the terrifying power of nature itself. It forces us to ask, if these titans are just what we found so far, what else is waiting for us in the dark?